Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alana, and on this channel, we like to do predominantly single book reviews. And so today's video is not going to be a long one because the book doesn't require a long review, but I do think that there are some interesting things to talk about. Sweet Bean Paste, let me enunciate, by Durian Sukegawa. All right. This book I have seen make the rounds a few times on Instagram in particular. Hold on. Yes, I've seen this book make the rounds a few times on Instagram in particular. And whenever I have announced that I was going to read it, people would say, "Oh, I love that book. It's so sweet." No pun intended. And I can see why. I kept this book on my nightstand, and I would read it either late at night or early in the morning because it's just one of those books, doesn't require a lot of analysis, but it is an excellent example of what Japanese fiction does best. People's lives never stay the same color forever. There are times when the color of life changes completely. So in Sweet Bean Paste, we have our main character, Sentaro, who works at a shop selling dorayaki after spending a few years in jail. So the dorayaki that he makes and sells at this shop is subpar. The shop doesn't get a lot of customers. But one day, an elderly woman visits the shop, Tokue, I think I'm pronouncing that right, visits the shop, and the two of them form an unusual friendship. She shows Sentaro how to make excellent sweet bean paste. Just so happens that Tokue is really, really good at confectionery. And because really good sweet bean paste is critical for good dorayaki. So as she's showing him how to perfect sweet bean paste, their relationship and their trust between the relationship and the trust between these two people deepens, and they open up to each other about their past life and their past troubles, because both of them have come from backgrounds that put them on the outskirts of what we consider acceptable company or acceptable society. So in Sweet Bean Paste, Tokue's recipe has a presence throughout the whole story. One, because Sentaro is constantly trying to work on it and get it just right so that it tastes just like when she makes it. And Tokue teaches Sentaro how to appreciate the process when it comes to food. The whole process from what it took from your food or the ingredients to get from point A to point B, and how to enjoy the process of making what it is that you're making. In essence, never take your food for granted and to always be thankful for what you have. "It's all very complicated," he blurted out. "It's just good hospitality," Tokue countered. "For the customers? No, the beans, because they came all the way from Canada for us." Unlike the ready-made paste, this was the smell of fresh living beans. It had depth. It had life. Sweet Bean Paste is a simple novel that uses these two unlikely people to drive home the simple message that regardless of what happens to one in one's life, there is always something, again, to appreciate and to be thankful for. Tokue had dreams and aspirations, but unfortunately, because of her past, these aspirations did not come to pass. However, she's still able to appreciate that this new friendship with Sentaro has allowed for her to obtain a semblance of these dreams, even if they're short-lived. She's able to see these new interactions that she's having at the dorayaki shop and use that to fulfill past dreams, if that makes sense. But don't you still have dreams for the past? I never thought I'd get the chance to talk with sweet young girls like that. That's why I'm so happy. I never got the chance to be a teacher, but now I can enjoy a fraction of what it might have been like, thanks to you for giving me the chance to meet those girls. There was a time when I'd given up all hope of ever going outside those gates into the world again. But now look at me. I could come here. I met so many people, all because you gave me a job. Isn't that so sweet? So good. Both Sentaro and Tokuei's past have limited their lives in some ways, but Sukegawa uses both of these characters to show that regardless of how one's life has transpired, regardless of regardless if one feels like because of what's happened to them, their life is insignificant, life actually does have meaning and no life is actually insignificant. Every person has a legacy and something of value to add to the world, even if that thing seems small. I began to understand that we were born in order to see and listen to the world, and that's all this world wants for us. It doesn't matter that I was never a teacher or a member of the workforce. My life had meaning. Tokuei's sweet bean paste, he was determined to carry on making it because if he did not, it would disappear from the world. Apart from its merits as a bean paste, Sentaro thought of it as a testimony to the life of a remarkable woman called Tokuei Yoshi. So again, that's it. It's a short novel, but Sukegawa packed a lot into this book as far as those simple themes. But again, it's not overwrought, it's not overly contrived, it's not preachy. It doesn't feel, you know how some books are trying to be super eloquent about how your life has meaning and nobody's insignificant, and it's just like they're hitting a nail over the head. This book does not feel like that. It is just one of those quiet, gentle reads that does what Japanese fiction, I think, does best. Simple wisdom. And other than that, there isn't that much to say about it. But I still got a lot from this novel. And it was just a pleasant reading experience. I can see why so many readers enjoy this story. And I do think that it is a really good place to start. If you want to read Japanese fiction, but perhaps you don't really want to go head on and dive into the deep end with Murakami, or you don't want to, maybe you want to read something maybe not as intense of some of Mieko Kawakami's. I've heard Heaven is brutal. So I think this is a good place to start with Japanese fiction if you haven't dived into Japanese fiction yet. Other languages have some of his other novels in their translation. I think he has other novels, but I was trying to find them in English. They're not available in English. They're available in German. They're available in French. And I'm like, dang, maybe one day we'll get them in English. I'm hoping so. Anyway, I rated this book a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. And for a slim volume, I got some good quotes out of this book. So really, really enjoyed that one. If you've read Sweet Bean Paste, let me know your thoughts below. Also, feel free to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And if you would like, please feel free to follow me on Instagram, where I get up to more book shenanigans. All of my book reviews go live there first, including my monthly TBRs, my reading wrap-ups, and goofy memes in the Instagram stories that usually have nothing to do with books. So with that, I will see you in the next one.